Hi, I'm Lucy Edwards, Director of Client Success at VHT Studios, and my guest today is Dr. Ann Meyerson, and she is a realtor at Kai's Realty, as well as she is a doctor who works with seniors. So, welcome, Ann.
Well, thank you. This is a wonderful opportunity to spread the word about what we do, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's not all about real estate, it's not all about money, it's also helping people. And I think that's the core of your business, is to help people, not just to find a new place to live, but also, why don't you tell us all about it?
All right, what I am doing now, and I'm very fortunate to be able to do this, is that I work with seniors and we help them when they are in difficult situations. And I also do the real estate, and that's one of the ways that I tend to meet them. But I do, the major thing was helping seniors to transition to the next phase of life safely.
That is wonderful. I'm sure you have a lot of great stories to share with us.
Oh, I have some fabulous stories. What a rush it is. I think I was telling you about this. One of the best stories I have is that I managed to save 3 lives where actually the people were in danger, and we were able to get them to the hospital and then to a safe home in time.
So were you a realtor at that time? Were you there for real estate needs?
What happened was, yes, I was a real estate agent and I was working with a social worker, and we were trying to get Barbara organized to move to a safe home. Unfortunately, Barbara did not want to move. And she lived primarily in her garage, where she had her television set up and she had photos all around, just like she did when she was in the Bronx. And this was down in Florida. So one morning I woke up and it was 90 degrees already in the morning, a hot Florida summer day. And I said, I hope Barbara is not in the garage today. I called the social worker, we raced up to her house, and there she was in the garage, talking to the pictures on the walls, and it must have been close to 100 degrees in there. We talked to her, we said, Barbara, you need to get some help and you need to go to the hospital. Barbara didn't want to go anywhere. I said, Barbara, we have to get you moved, it's too hot here for you. So what I did is we called the police. The police came over and they said, well, where are we? Are you going to Baker Act her? You know, what is happening? So we said, no, Barbara will go with you. Barbara said, I'm not leaving the garage. She called it the room. I picked up the phone and I called 911. And I said, we have an emergency here. This is Dr. Ann Meyerson calling. And I gave them the address and the ambulance showed up. Now, Barbara wasn't getting in the ambulance with just anybody. She was not leaving. So I thought about it, used a little psychology, and there was a very handsome young EMS man in the ambulance. So I said, do me a favor, talk to Barbara and see if she'll go with you. And he came out, this big, strapping, handsome young guy, and he said, Barbara, can we help you move? She went with him. Oh. And that was the story. She finally was placed in a life care community where she is now living, and she has a boyfriend.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's just the kind of thing, what a reward that is to be able to help someone like that.
Absolutely. And it's incredible that you woke up in the morning and you thought about Barbara in the garage in 100-degree weather, and you rushed there to help her. So that is the spirit and that is the soul.
And for me, it was a rush. It was an absolute rush to save someone's life like that. Because I don't know if she would have made it through the day. She was in her mid-80s. Whether she would have made it through the day in that hot garage by herself.
I understand that Joan Richardson, the office manager, actually allowed or created an educational seminar here that you were running for the community and for other agents to understand the Alzheimer's disease and how to deal with in a situation when, let's say, the agent is at the house and
a Barbara situation.
Oh, Barbara's situation, here we go. Yeah, you can have things like that happen. So how do you deal with it? Did that seminar that you put together, was it helpful? How did agents react to it and how they're using it now?
Oh, love to talk about that. I work with Alzheimer's Community Care, which is in 3 counties within Florida where they have community groups, day patient care for Alzheimer's. What is happening is that people need to get educated about the disease and what it means and how you can help. They were kind enough to bring in one of their speakers who is an expert, Dr. Gilbert, on treating Alzheimer's. We then invited the community in and real estate agents in particular. What if you run into a situation where something's wrong, but you just don't quite get it? And so that's what we did. We did a seminar to train people how to identify Alzheimer's, where the resources are to get help, and how to talk to them when you're speaking to a client that you believe may have cognitive issues. And at the workshop, we had over 65 people who came to the workshop, and everybody was just raving about it. Thank you, Ann, so much. Thank you, Kais. Thank you, Dr. Gilbert and the Alzheimer's community. This helps us to work with people when we need to.
Well, the awareness is so important, and that's what you were bringing to the table, and that's what you were sharing with your colleagues in the community, is to be aware that situations like that are all the way around us and how to deal with it.
Well, especially in Florida where we have such a large population. Right. And it's not just that, it's one of the things you have to learn too is how to speak to your clients and the adult children when you see the dementia or early signs that are setting in. And that is critical because you have to play in their world, not in your world, because their world is different and you have to be able to relate to them so they in turn will accept and trust you.
You have very interesting material here, the memory book. It's an amazing, amazing book that you just shared with me. I would love for you to share it with our audience.
Thank you, and I would love to share it with the audience. What I do is when I am clearing out an apartment, and sometimes they are hoarders, and sometimes it's in disarray, but their seniors are reluctant to leave their home. I had a case where a woman lived in an apartment and the adult kid said, it's time to get mom out of here. She doesn't want to leave because her daughter lived with her and passed away 3 years ago in the apartment. So her room where her daughter had lived had never been touched for 3 years. It wasn't dirty or anything, it was just exactly the way it had been when her daughter passed away. And the 2 other sisters said, I don't think mom's leaving here. So I came up with this concept. We made a memory book, and I'll just go through it. I won't go through it, but I'll show it to you, where what we did is we took all the memorabilia. How about this one?
Right.
That was in the room, and we took photographs of it before, and I gave the book to mom. She then had the memories with her and was able to successfully make the transition. Then we could clean the apartment out and get it sold to give them the money that she needed to help pay for her assisted living.
Beautiful story, absolutely beautiful story. And I'm sure it's so rewarding to prepare something like that and to look at that lady and see the joy in her eyes that now she has all the memories with her.
I think joy's a little heavy. I'm not sure it was joy as much as it was acceptance, playing in her world. Take your daughter and her things with you to the assisted living you're going to.
And you brought some really cool little hearts. Realtors with a Heart 2020. So tell us about it.
I will, and I'll tell you the purpose of these hearts also. This was an award, I'll brag a little. This is an award that I won in 2020 from the Florida Association of Realtors. I was named for Palm Beach County Realtor with a Heart 2020.
Oh.
So to promote that, I had a bunch of hearts made up that are squeeze balls. And pre-COVID, I would distribute these. and I would leave them at the senior residences, or when I made a call to a client, I would bring them one as a gift and one for the adult kids. They're good for your system. They help anxiety, and they give me a little free advertising at the same time.
What a fabulous idea.
It was fun. It was fun.
It's definitely stress relief.
And you can take that one home with you.
Oh, yeah, I sure will do that. Thank you, Anne. Great story. And it was a great meeting you today and talking about very important things that sometimes we don't even think about, and that is absolutely fabulous. And I would like to see what would you like to offer to our audience, to your colleagues and community?
What a great opportunity for me. Yes, I'm encouraging everyone to use their smarts, use their education, use their life experiences when they relate to clients. And when you see that the people you're working with are older and maybe struggling and having a little time relating to this current world we're living in, have a heart and care about them, and the rest will fall into place. One last thing I'd like to say, that you can look me up at the National Association of Realtors. I do writing about hoarding and working with hoarders and counseling advice for realtors who are working with seniors. And please, consider me as a resource if you need me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Anne. I'm Lucy Edwards, Director of Client Success at VHT Studios. And please go to vht.com/learn to watch our videos. Have a great day. Cheers.